Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Fikir Fauzi. In here, I will explain about the methodology. In chapter 4, we look at various learning models. In the chapter, we will present 3 samples lesson to illustrate the practical implication ideas for the class. However, I will explain some of basic principle of teaching learning, in which will underpin a learning-centered research methodology. The first is second language learning is a developmental process. Learners use their existing knowledge to make the new information comprehensible. The learner's existing state of knowledge is, therefore, a vital element in the success or failure of learning, and the good teacher will consequently try to establish and exploit what the learner already know. The second is language learning is an active process. It's not enough for learners to only have the necessary knowledge to make things meaningful, but they must also use that knowledge. Teachers have to make a distinction between two types of activity. The first is psychomotor activity, that is the observable movement of speech organ or limbs in accordance with the signal from the brain. The second is language processing activity, that is the organization of information into a meaningful network of knowledge. This kind of activity is internal and not observable. This means that activity should not be judged in terms of how much learners say or write, but in terms of how much the learners have to think to use their cognitive capacities and knowledge of the world to make sense of the flow of new information. The third is language learning is a decision-making process. In the traditional classroom, the teacher made all the decisions to avoid all possibilities of error. Teacher can make decisions without taking risk, and taking risk make error possible or even likely. But the process of developing and using a network of knowledge relies upon a chain of learner decision. Learner must be decision maker. And the fourth is language learning is not just a matter of linguistic knowledge. The most fundamental problem of certain language learning is the mismatch between the learner's conceptual or cognitive capacities and the learner linguistic level. The learner's knowledge of their subject may be of a very high level, while their linguistic knowledge is virtually nil. Teaching must respect both level of the learners. So, enough for me. The next material will explained by Nandito Maulana Wijaya.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nandito Maulana Wijaya. In here I will continue the material that has been presented by Muhammad Fikri. Number 5. Language learning is not the learner's first experience with language. Every second language learner is already communicatively competent in one language. They know that communication is and how it used. learns knowledge of communication should be actively exploited in second language learning. For example, by getting students to predict before reading or listening. Number 6, learning is an emotional experience. Teachers should develop the positive emotional as opposed to the negative ones. For example, number 1, using pair and group work to build on existing social relationship. Number 2, giving student time to think and general avoiding use pressure. Number 3, putting less emphasis on the product and more on the process of getting an answer. Number 4, following attitude as much as aptitude and ability. Number 5, making interest, fun, variety, primary consideration in material and methodology rather than just add extracts. Okay, next, number 7, language learn is to a large extent incidental. Teachers don't have to be working with language problem in order to learn language. Teacher can learn a language incidentally while teachers are actually thinking about something else. And the last, number 8, language learning is not systematic. Teacher learn by systematic knowledge. The process itself is not systematic. Laying out information in a systematic way will not grant learning.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Jihan Maulidina from Group 10. I will explain about the model lessons. There are 3 different types of model lesson in this section, so I will explain a little bit for each model. The first model aims to allow students to guess what will likely be a continued from the previous dialogue. The procedure are divide class into group of 3 or 4. Tell the group to read the worksheet, and then tell the group to look at the picture and decide what is happening. Ask the group to report what they think is happening in the picture. The second model aims to train students how to determine information from a piece of conversation. The procedure are: divide the class into group of 3 and give each group a number. For example, group 1, group 2, and group 3. Tell the group to read their worksheet and then make a notes about the details. Tell each member to keep a copy of the notes as they will be working in the new group in the second stage. In the second stage, you have to form a new group of 3 that has 1 member from each of the old group. And then you have to give each group a copy of the feedback worksheet. Each member has some missing information, so tell them to fill in the gaps using their notes. And the last model lesson aims to teach students how to predict the topic of the conversation. The procedure are: divide the class into pairs. Tell the pairs to write on each slip paper who is speaking, the receptionist or the callers. Tell one of the pairs to take the receptionist's pieces and the other one to take the caller's pieces. The pairs read the dialogue. Tell the pairs to turn the back of their paper of the dialogue and then they do the dialogue without reading. After that, take the receptionist pieces. They do the dialogue of the receptionist part using the caller's part as cues.
Halo, I'm Sinta Nurul Damayanti, and in this session, I would like to explain about analyze. The first analyze is gaps. If everything is certain and also known, there is no need to thinking. Learning demand thinking, and gaps create that demand. There are many types of gaps which can be exploited. The first, information gaps. Most teachers can be familiar with this activity. One learner has some information and another does not. There is need to communicate and also share knowledge. Second type is media gaps. The information is available in one medium, need to be transferred to another medium. Third type is reasoning gaps. There are clues and pieces of evidence. And the answer needs to be extrapolated. Fourth, memory gaps. The learner receives some information. And now they must use their memories to reconstructing how the dialogue in lesson exploit this kind of gap. Fifth, jigsaw gaps. All the parts are there, and you need to put together a unit complete. Sixth, opinion gap. What is important, what is not, and what is relevant. 7. Certainty gaps. What is definitely known, what can be presupposed, what can be predicted, and what is completely unavailable. It is holes, it is gaps, it is missing bits. Teacher best friend can be pair of key source which simulate the learner thinking process. Second, analyze is variety. To get repetition necessary to help in learning, you must variety to keep your mind alert. The first variety is variety of medium, like text, picture, and speech. Second, variety of class organization, like whole class, pair, or individual group, and variety of activity, like exercise or tasks. Variety of skill, like listening, writing, speaking, and also reading. Third, analyze is prediction. Prediction is a matter of using an existing knowledge of a pattern or system in order to anticipate what is likely a novel situation. Prediction, it builds the learner confidence to aware their potential knowledge. And second, it activates the learner mind and prepare it for learning. The third, it gives student ego investment. It gives student ego investment. When people make prediction, they are investing part of their self-esteem in their decision and choice. Fourth analyze is enjoyment. Enjoyment isn't just added extra. The most relevant material, the most academically respectable knowledge, the most academically respectable theories are as nothing compared to the rich learning environment of an enjoyable experience. It doesn't matter how irrelevant in lesson may appear to be. If it bores the learners, it is a bad lesson. The fifth analyze is an integrate methodology. Using a range skill greatly increase the range activity possible in classroom. This make it easier to achieve a high degree of recycling and reinforcement while maintaining the learner interest. I think it is enough for me, and will be next explained by Silky. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Dwi Rohmaniati Silky. I am from Group 10, and I will continue the explanation about the analysis that has been explained before by Sinta. So the next one is number 6. It's coherence. Coherence means it should be clear where the lesson is going. The previous stage should lead to the next stage naturally, from stage 1 to the stage 2 and then to the stage 3. You need to do it in order without skipping any stage. And then the next one is number 7. Number 7 is preparation. Normally, preparation is interpreted as teacher preparing the lesson. But as well as preparing the teacher to teach, we need to prepare the learners to learn. Why? Because if we don't preparing the learners to learn, they will not be ready to receive the material in the class. And then the next one is number 8. Number 8 is involvement. Learners should be involved cognitively and emotionally. How? There is a simple way to do this. You can ask a question to the learners, but there are a condition before you ask a question. Don't you ask a question that the learners already know, but don't ask the question that's too hard for the learners. While you giving a question to the learners will involve cognitively because they will think about the answer. After that, you need to wait for them giving you the answer. After they give you the answer, you need to value their answer. So they will think like, oh, my teacher is valuing my answer. That will involve them emotionally. The next one is creativity. This point is have connection with the previous one. After you receive an answer from your learners, there will be more than one answer. There will be a heterogeneous answer. But don't make it wrong. Even if the answer is different from one another, you can't judge it as a totally wrong answer. Why? Because language is dynamic and there are a possibility to be a different answer from the same question. So it is dynamic. The question is one, but the answer is possibility more than one. And then the last one is number 10. The last one is atmosphere. This is the most important factors while you teach a language learning. You can put it like mood. While you are in a good mood, you will be happy while you study. Oh, come on, let's study about this. You will be excited. But if you are in a bad mood, you will be like, oh my god, I'm so lazy to study about this. This is so boring. You will think like that. Even though the material is really interesting, but if you are in a bad mood, you wouldn't want to study. How to make the atmosphere keep heating up in your classroom? You can pay attention to your student. You look at one by one your student. If you see one learners that look so sleepy or not interested anymore in your material or not focused anymore on you, you need to think a way to make them energetic again. You need to think a way to make them focus on you again. For example, you can ask them to sing a song with you, or you may play a mini game so they will not be sleepy and will be focused on you again. That will make your classroom atmosphere more comfortable. And if your classroom atmosphere already comfortable, the students will be happily study in the classroom. So that's 10 factor in the analysis language learning. I will give you the brief conclusion from our methodology materials. So at first, Fikri and Dito already explained about the basic principle of language learning. If you already know the basic principle of the language learning, you will know what you need to do and what you have to do while you want to learn a language. And then Jihan already explained about the model lessons. There are 3 model lessons. You can pick one of the 3 models that is more suitable for you. And then the last, Sinta and I already explained about the analysis. These 10 factors of analysis need to be involved in your classroom, because if one of the analysis factor is not in your classroom may be a bit uncomfortable, because these 10 factors is really important. Okay, so I think that's all from our groups. We're so sorry if there are any mistake or any part that still make you confused. You are allowed, and we will gladly answer your question about the material, about our material. Thank you for paying attention to our material. I hope we can learn something from this whole material about methodology. Thank you so much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.